Welcome to the Self-Love Experience. I'm your girl, Shira Nicole, and today I have a very, very special guest, Miss Rozetta Cox. Our little cup here, every episode, there's a cup where I can just listen to you and just sip on my tea.
Yes, honey.
Cup of tea.
Absolutely.
I have to let my audience know. Like we go like way, way back. Like
we do, Shira.
Ernie Powell area, yes. Towson area, neighborhood. Like you was just like right on the next block. And
yes, yes.
Oh my God. Before I just start just like ripping off about how amazing she is, you have to realize that when I bring someone to you, I don't just let anybody on my show. But I have known Rozetta since like straight middle school. Always been such a sweet and genuine person. Just a beautiful personality. And I know you all can look at her and just see how gorgeous she is.
Oh, you're so sweet.
And it's interesting because you never know like who's watching you or who's paying attention or who remembers just how great you are, because we have like a mass amount of people on social media. But in all honesty, like you've always been one of those people that have shined and you're doing your thing and you sharing. So I'm going to let you just kind of, tell us about you and just what you've been through, your ups, your downs, your story, and how it's gotten you to where you are today, because this woman is a boss.
First of all, I just want to say thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to come on your amazing show. I mean, let's talk about it. I am so glad to be on here, and I have been knowing you as well. So the edification that you gave me, it goes back to you because you're the same way. And so to give you guys a little bit about myself, I am 43 years old. I have two amazing sons, 21 years old and 14. I am divorced of 15 years. Post-divorce, I have rediscovered myself, reinvented myself. And self-love is something, it's a transition that I can say I have arrived, right? If you would have asked me 10 years ago, do you love yourself? Do you love yourself? I would have been like, yes, I love myself. But I am here to tell you, ladies, it is a journey. And my past, the things that I've been through, has actually landed me to where I'm at in the present moment. My grandmother raised me in Gary, Indiana, on Marshall Street, which is where I met Shira. And we would hang out with each other. We went to school together, and we grew up on, decent neighborhood. And my grandmother was everything to me. So I lost her in 2005. So I lost my grandmother in 2005. I lost my brother in 2011. He was murdered. The year later, I lost my mom suddenly to heart disease. She had what you call hypertrophic cardiomyopathy, which is a heart disease that runs in African Americans. So that was in 2012. 2016, I lost my sister suddenly to an asthma attack. And 8 months after that, I lost my father the same way. And then immediately going through a divorce after 15 years because I suffered depression. And my husband at the time, he didn't know how to deal with it. So he left. And I was there to pick up the pieces. And I was embarrassed. I was shamed. And I'm like, who's going to want to date me? Like, I just was in a really, really dark place. And I am just here to tell you, and if there's anyone that has been through anything that's such a hard experience, the only difference, I'm human, as you guys can see. There's nothing immoral about me. The only thing that I didn't do is quit. That's why I'm here. I refuse to quit. No matter how many times I got knocked down, there were some dark days. There was some depressing days. And I just wanted to say, you know what? This is my life. I know what I deserve. And so when you start to heal, not only adult trauma, but childhood trauma, let's talk about that. That teen girl that was insecure, right? Now she's an adult and has a family and going through all these things in life. I was able to sit back and do some self-development. And that's how I was able to fall in love with myself again, Shira. And that's why my heart is passionate with teen girls and women, because we put up a facade. Now, disclosure, and all of the things that I named when I was going through it, no one could tell, because depression doesn't have a face. Sadness doesn't have a face. Grief doesn't. I was my happy self. I poured into everyone, but I was suffering in silence. I was suffering in silence. So as far as self-love, I had to start over again. And I have forgiven. You know, forgiving is not for the other person, right? It's for us. So I've been able to forgive others as well as myself. I was experiencing toxic relationships. I'm thinking, why am I attracting these kind of people? I'm a good person, but I was broken. I was not healed. So when we're not healed and we don't deal with things, I tell my audience that that's what we attract. We attract those things. But the great thing is when we start healing and seeing things with a clear vision versus a distorted vision, our life begins to change. The things that we've manifested, the things that we prayed for and asked for, it starts to happen. And you're like, why I didn't do this before? So yeah, I'm like I said, I'm just here to just express myself and explain that self-love is a journey, and it is a decision to say, you know what? I know what I deserve, and I want to attract that. So no matter what I went through in my past, and as hard as it was and hurtful as it was, now I've arrived because I get it. I get it.
Oh my gosh, my soul is just it's pierced, it's tingling. You're so just honest, authentic, open, and I know that we all can relate to your story, to your journey. I didn't know that you lost your mom in 2012. I lost my mom in 2012.
Wow, Shira.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. And you know what's crazy, even though this may be a little bit of a side thing, but your best friend was at my mom's funeral.
Robin?
Yes.
Yes, she's amazing.
And I just thought that was such, and it makes sense that you would attract a best friend like that because,
Yes.
she's the same way. I don't, I again haven't seen her since high school, and
Yes.
she saw it on Facebook, and she showed up.
She's amazing. She's that type of person,
I
Shira.
mean, your friendship with Robin, you can
Thank you.
tell someone and how they are with how they treat their best friend. Like, how do you treat your best friend? That says a lot. And you
Exactly.
all are just absolutely amazing. I love it. Something that you said with everything that was going on with the deaths that's happened in your family, and that's one of the things I have learned how to deal with a lot. But that particular subject is still very difficult for me. Grief, and
Yes.
I don't know. I don't know how to handle it. And you kept having all those situations happen back to back, and need a brother and a sister, and so much of it was unexpected. And then
Yes.
you're in a marriage and you're depressed, and the guy's like, I don't know how to deal with this, and you're like, well, why don't you know how to deal with this? And
Exactly.
maybe not even know how to articulate exactly what's going on with you at the time.
Absolutely. Because, I mean, think about it. We were raised in church, we went to school, but no one taught us how to deal with grief. So, I did seek counseling, and therapy, and that helped me a lot. I would tell people it's okay to get therapy, I felt that I was brave getting it because the stereotype. And although I was at that time in management, I was running a store. The store that I was managing was generating a lot of revenue, one of the top stores in the region at that time. But I was functioning while depressed. So I threw myself into work. But I said, you know what? Self-care, right? Because that's what it's all about. And a form of self-care is saying, you know what? I need to talk to somebody and not worry about what people think. Because therapists see therapists, right? People don't know that.
Exactly. Now, was there a moment that made you say, okay, this isn't who I want to be. I don't want to sit in these feelings. I don't want to sit in depression.
Yes.
Was there a moment, or like this was the last straw, let me do something?
Yes, the last straw for me was when at the time when I was married, my spouse, he disregarded what I was going through. Now that I'm older, and he was a great man, great father. He just wasn't taught how to deal with emotions and feelings, right? A lot of men are taught to be tough. So seeing me cry to him was a sign of weakness. And anybody knows me know that I'm never weak, right? But to him, I was, because of the stereotype, right? How could you be so weak? How could you shake it off? There's nothing wrong with you. It's life. It happens. So it created a lot of things in the household. So we checked out. We both checked out. And the last straw for me was he got me so upset. And I was always upset and yelling and fussing. And I'm like, my kids deserve better than this. I can't function being a miserable person because I'm generally a happy person. And that's the way that God created me. And so all these emotions and all these feelings that I was feeling in the way that my marriage was failing. And I'm just like, God, like, I need to talk to someone. So what I did, which I don't recommend anyone to do this, I wanted to prove a point to people. So for a long time, I did not seek help. Oh, what's going to happen to Rozetta? Oh, she lost her mother, her father, her sister, her brother. Oh, I know she's going to lose her mind. So me being the competitive that I am and my competitive spirit, right? I'm like, I'm good. And I wasn't. And the more I kept telling myself that I was good, I was really harming myself. So what is the opposite of self-love? Self-hate, right? So I was dealing with those things and I'm just like, it hit me all at once. So I tell people, understand the different stages. Now we have Google. Thank God for Google. Google, what are the stages of grief? You know, if someone is going through it, what do I do? There's anger, there's sadness, you know, there's ups and downs, highs and lows. So I was able to understand that that's what grieving was. And I was able to seek help because I just didn't want to. I know my kids needed me. And I had family members saying, Rozetta, we need you. Like, we need you to come back. Because I was almost there to the point where, I mean, you know how you see people, you be like, oh my God, I wonder what happened to her and him. They were a good person and just look at their life. I didn't want that. I wanted to keep pushing and not losing. And so when I went to get therapy, you'd be surprised at the people that were sitting there waiting to be seen. I'm talking about doctors, lawyers, teachers, people that had a lot of money, way more money than me, sitting there to be seen. So it just showed me, God showed me, like, it's not just you, Rozetta. People are hurting. And for you to get therapy and to be vulnerable, that shows strength. So yeah, I recommend that.
Oh, so glad you said that. It does. That is what shows strength, is being able to say, you know what, let me talk to someone, let me seek and get help, therapist, someone that can help guide me. Because a lot
Yes.
of people who are successful, especially the people who you say you saw in there, or people who are just mentally successful,
Yes.
it's very important. Your
Yes.
mental, mindset, your mental health,
Mm-hmm.
they're they're getting therapy. Sometimes it's ongoing. It's just continuous. Like, when does it
Yes.
end for them? Well, it doesn't end. This is just part of my life. It's like some people, they go on a diet, and then some people just have a way of eating and it's more wellness. So it's
Yes.
like,
Yes.
yeah, this is just part of my wellness. There's nothing wrong with it. But again, because we grew up in an era and in, religion where it's like, oh, Jesus will work it out. You don't need to go talk to somebody. He's your counselor.
Yes.
He's this.
Yes. That's how we
Well,
were raised, Shira.
exactly.
Yes.
Well, I talked to Jesus and he said for me to go to therapy. How about
There
that?
you go. There you go. And that's the key.
Yeah, a lot of times I notice that God is going to send a blessing through someone else. He's the one that has given the person the gift to be able to talk and to minister to you. And now you have a gift that you're now using to minister to other women and to teen girls. I would love to hear about what you're up to now with that.
I started, me and two other young ladies, we started this mentoring group years ago. It was called Roses, ROSES, Raising Our Standard and Embracing Sisterhood. And we had an amazing group of young girls who are now adults, right? They're grown, they're adults. And so now I am using a different platform to reach not just the younger generation of women, but older women as well that have been through things in life, but my target is my teen girls and getting them and letting them know like, hey, sister, girl, let me tell you, Miss Rozetta has been through some things, and guess what? I just want to help you not go through some of the things. If you look at social media and all of these things that's going on, the purpose behind my mentoring the teen girls is letting them know that they are enough. Even when social media says that they're not enough, they are enough. And whatever it is that makes them happy, going through unnecessary, I could say, for example, for me, when I was a teenage girl, coming into myself, my self-esteem was so low, and people would look at me and not think that. I had things that I was struggling with. And so I know that our youth, our young girls, with everything that's going on, they're struggling with their self-esteem, boys, relationships, toxic relationships. Why? Because daddy haven't had the conversation, right? Because I didn't have that conversation with my dad, and I was a daddy's girl, but daddy never had that conversation with me. He probably didn't even know that he should have. But a lot of my young girls who I target, it is to make them aware of what to watch out for, what behaviors to not display so that they can save themselves some heartache, trauma bonds. A lot of these young girls, they don't know what trauma bonds are. They need to know, why am I attracted to this young man that is lowering my self-esteem? That's a future narcissist, right? He's not good for me, but yet I'm addicted to him. Yet I want his text messages. I want his calls. I want his time. And that all that refers to is that insecure, that thing that no one was able to say, hey, baby, you are amazing and you deserve so much more. So that is my platform, just making sure that the young ladies are aware of who they are and stand for it, and understand that when you stand and walk in your truth as a teen girl in this millennium, it is going to require a lot of strength. Because I remember going through a period where I was a virgin in high school. No guys wanted to talk to me, right? So you're thinking that's a good thing, like I'm a virgin and but no, imagine nobody wanting to talk to you.
Okay. She was hard getting the date to the prom.
It's like I was with my friend, he was my homeboy. I'm like, everybody else hanging out, and I jumped off at the door as prom queen with my crown and my flowers. And he like, good night. He probably went and got hooked up with his real girl, So it's like, you have to really understand who you are. And I want them to know that there's going to be some sacrifices going to come with it. It may be a period of loneliness, or a period of where they're abstaining and they're by themselves just to just start over. It's okay. The last mentoring group that I had, we talked about abstinence. And one young lady was like, Miss Rozetta, so you mean to tell me that if we've had sex before, we can start over and stop again? Like, they had never heard those terms. So these are some of the things that I just want to put out there to my young ladies, just to empower them to be the amazing young ladies that they are and walk in their boldness. That's it.
Now, I am a high school teacher. I have worked with teens for, X amount of decades, literally X amount of decades. This is my 22nd year as a high school teacher. My first year teaching.
You look great.
Well, thank you. Let's say that I want to recommend some parents of teen girls, or some of the teen girls that I have, that's my students, or someone in your area. How would I get them to you in your organization?
So there's 2 links. Actually, there's 3. I know everybody has different platforms on social media, so I do have all 3. But you can really reach me through my email, which is rosieBoot38@gmail.com. That is my email. You can reach me through my Instagram. You can DM me on IG as Miss Cox 43. And on Facebook, I am Rozetta Cox with a Z, ROZETTA Cox COX.
Girl, you need to be a Zeta. When you spelled your name, you was like Z.
You hear that, Z, girl?
Yes. It's almost, it's Rozetta, but it's very close to Rosetta. And with that royal blue, I'm feeling it. We're going to have to recruit. You hear me, Soros? We're going to have to recruit. Go contact the chapter where you are.
Okay.
We're going to have to recruit. You was born to be a Zeta.
The alumni chapter, huh, girl?
Okay, yes, girl. And then there's something else you have going on too with wellness and health and just getting fit and making sure that you're taking supplements to be healthy. Tell us
Yes.
about that, girl, because we you have poured into us today, and we want to give our thanks by pouring into you, by supporting your business, supporting the things that you're doing. I mean, that's the least we can do because I have learned so much and taken in so much from your story. This was one of those ones where I could just be like, all right, go ahead. Let me just give you the mic. I'm good. I'm good. Yes. So tell us about the business.
Okay, so I am a wellness coach. Okay, besides a teacher, mentor, all that stuff, but I am a teacher, and I am also a wellness coach. So I like to teach people about, again, self love, right? And what is one of the forms of self love? Wellness and health. So I do have a business called Splendid Nutrition, and it's through Herbalife. Those are my distributors. So I have products, ladies, that will help us with our wellness, that helps us feel good. I have anything from body line as far as like face, sculpture, all that, vitamins, meal supplements, probiotics. That's something that I highly recommend. I do sell it a lot for my ladies and my young girls because of our pH. We, of course, as women, we maintain good bacteria versus bad bacteria. So on my website, I have what you call a probiotic that you're able to mix with 8 ounces of water daily to help you balance your pH. Because sometimes we have too much bad bacteria, it causes different things. So the formula that I have, it helps with that, ladies. Also, vitamins. We need to take our vitamins every single day because the vitamins that we take, the vitamins that I actually have on my website, they have 21 essential vitamins and minerals. So our bodies need certain things to thrive on a daily. So sometimes if you feel like you're tired all the time or you don't feel your best, I also have what you call energy boosters or metabolism. I have tea. And all of these things, it's nothing about weight loss. A lot of people think, oh, she's into weight loss. It's not a weight loss business. Although when you start to take care of yourself, what do? You lose weight, right? But it's not a weight loss. It's just wellness and just making sure that you're putting the things in your body that allows you to function. And one of the things that inspired me to get into this business and to promote wellness is because of the background and the history of my family. My grandmother died of congestive heart failure. My mom died of congestive heart failure, hypertrophic cardiomyopathy, which is a heart disease. My sister died of asthma attack, and so did my father of asthma attack. So, as far as wellness, as African Americans, you guys, it's so important that we take care of our health. So, my website, when you go to my website, you're going to find a lot of things. So it's a lot. I can't name everything, but those are just a few things. Even if you work out, I have what you have post-workout shakes where you're able to replenish your minerals and all of the things that you release when you're working out, and also help you with the soreness. So my link is Rose Cox, ROZEECOX.GoHerbalife.com. And if you go there, you'll see a lot of things. If you have any questions, please reach out to me. I'm always doing challenges, ladies. It's important to keep us encouraged with one another. So if you're ever interested in the challenge or have any questions, please, please, please reach out. I am available. I will make myself available, even if I'm not.
Open and easy to approach and friendly and all of that. Let me just say all that. Also, let me just get it started. So I'm going to go to your site when we're done, and I'm going to purchase some things because this is one of the things that I'm really passionate about when it comes to like I have a heart for business owners and small business owners that everyone may not know about. Like you don't have a commercial coming out on television for us to know about it. So I want to help get that word out. I take vitamins, I take a multivitamin every day, but I'm not in love with or married to my brand.
Okay.
It's just, it's just whatever. So why not replace that and buy it from someone who I know? I know the story. I care about where my money goes. Yes, I want the product, but I care about where my money goes. So I can easily switch that out. Then also when you were talking about probiotics, I know how important that is.
Yes. Yes.
Really, really like expensive probiotics that I buy from Whole Foods, not
Okay.
because they're so good, but because I'm in walking distance of Whole Foods. So,
Okay.
for the sake of time, I just go and pick it up, and it's super, super expensive. And I would rather give that to someone I know and support a small business because, again, I'm not married to that brand either. There's so
Okay.
many things that you can look at that you purchase and you buy on a regular basis that there's really no loyalty. You're just getting it because you need it. And there's no
Right. Exactly.
and there's no harm in trying out another product. So I'm going to encourage you, and
Absolutely.
I'm leading the way. I'm going to place my order right when we finish,
Awesome.
and I just want
Awesome.
to encourage you all to do the same. And let me see what else I can do. I know what I can do. So for those of you who place an order through my link, find some type of way, tell her like, hey, I saw you on the podcast. I will give you a free copy of my number one best-selling ebook, The Drama of Being a Teen. I'll give you the digital copy free immediately because you purchased that as an extra incentive. And one of the reasons why, and I'm giving you a hard copy, I'm going to send you in the mail, Rozetta, for being here, a free copy of that book because I wrote it with teenagers in mind. I wrote
Oh
it.
my. Oh my. I can't wait.
It has been number one on Amazon for the past year. It came out in February last year. It is still number
Awesome.
it has won book awards, but more importantly, is that it has helped so many parents and teens come together, work through all that mess, work through all those childhood imprints. Like you said, a lot of the damage was done in childhood, and now we're adults trying to put up a front like nothing's going on.
Exactly.
It
Exactly.
heal all those areas from childhood and adolescence. So
Mm-hmm.
that is something I'm going to give towards you, and you
Awesome.
use that with the girls that you mentor because that was the whole point of it. So I'm going to give you.
Awesome. That is amazing, Shira. Thank you.
Yeah, so go. We're going to support. We're going to blow up her store. We're going to crash her website.
I'm
Crash
so
her website,
excited.
and I will match every purchase you make with a free digital copy.
Awesome. You're so awesome. I'm so proud of you, Shira. Your show is amazing. And you're doing so many great things. So I'm just so honored. Just know that.
Thank you so much. I mean, I'm like, wow, you were amazing. I really enjoyed you as a guest, and I have to find some reason to have you back
Oh, whenever. You just say the word.
because
And
you're
you know I'm here.
amazing. And I also recommend, you should look into speaking.
That is one of my goals, Shira. One of my long-term goals is to be a public speaker, a motivational speaker. But it's amazing that you said that because I haven't shared that with too many people. Maybe like a handful of people know that that's my passion. But I didn't tell you that, and you said it. So I guess that's confirmation.
It is. It is confirmation. See, God, he speaks through people. He's not gonna just do it
Yes,
for you.
he
You got to
does.
take the action, but he speaks through people. Yes, I definitely can see, and it was minister. And minister doesn't mean that you have to be religious or religious,
Absolutely.
but you fed my soul, and that's what it's all about. So thank you
Thank you.
so much for being
Thank
a
you.
part of the self love experience. For those of you watching, I know that you have been well fed. So please make sure you go and show your thanks by checking out those links. And until
Yes.
next time, I hope that I fed your mind. We have had Rozetta Cox here. I'm your sister girl. Until next time, love yourself. Bye.
Bye bye.